Okay. So what are you looking to get done today? Okay, so no cut, no washing or anything? You just want a style. Okay. Now, what kind of style would you say you're looking for? Some curls? Sure, I can do that for you. Now, there's a few different kinds of curls we can do. We could do some really loose curls, which it looks like you may have in your hair already, or maybe this is like a few days old or whatever. We could do those. We can do something more along the lines of beach waves. We can also do kind of a different technique where instead of using the clasp on the curling rod, we can just wrap the hair around and kind of use it as a wand. It gives a little bit of a different effect. And there's a few different ways we can do it. We can also have really tight curls in there. Are you looking for anything in particular when you say curls? Okay. Something kind of distressed, nothing too perfect. Okay, so, you don't want beach waves technically, but you want it to be kind of loose and, have a little bit of larger curls. Yes, so the best way to go about this is if we do a little bit of a combination. So you know how I was just telling you about how we can wrap the hair around the curling rod? Well, we can do that in addition to using the clasp. That way, we're going to use two different techniques, and what that is going to do is give your hair a lot of texture. It's not going to be uniform. It's going to look kind of, I don't want to say rough, but it's going to look not perfect, if that makes sense. But it sounds like that's what you are wanting. Perfect. I totally get what you mean. Sometimes, I feel that way too. You want your hair to kind of look perfectly imperfect. You want it kind of look a little messy, but in a good way. So let's get started. I am just going to brush your hair out really quick, just because I feel like it is a little bit tangled. And then, usually I do ask about a part, but since we're kind of going for that distressed, almost a little bit messy, I don't want to say messy, but that kind of just loose, I don't care kind of vibe, I feel like we just leave the part how it is, and then you can just flip your hair back and forth depending on, how you want it, but not have like a sharp part or anything. I think that would definitely go really well with this kind of the aesthetic that you are looking for here. Okay, so I am just going to brush your hair out really quick, like I mentioned. I'm sorry, yes, my knees they crack a lot. Just some light brushing, nothing too crazy. Just gonna use one of these wet brushes. Oops, so sorry there. Seem a little bit knotty in the midsection here, so I'm going to try to get that. There we go. It's kind of brushing through a little bit easier now. go. There's a little bit of resistance on this side as well. Alright, so now that we have it all brushed out, I am just going to actually, so I have this little clip here. I am just going to loosely part your hair. The top half, I'm going to leave it up so that I can focus on the bottom half. Super nonchalant. Perfect. So now your hair's clipped up out of the way. I am just going to brush this bottom half through. Okay, now, before I actually get to curling, I am going to plug in the curling rod, and then we're going to apply some hair heat protection, just because we are going to be using a little bit of a higher heat to curl your hair, and we want to make sure that it is protected at all times. Okay, I have it heating to 400 degrees. For today's thermal protectant, we are going to be using Kenra Platinum. This is their blow dry spray. Although we are not using this to blow dry your hair, this is an advanced dry thermal heat protectant. So I'm going to spray it on your hair, and it's not going to really leave it feeling heavy and bulky. It's just going to put a little bit of a light layer on there, and then it'll dry rapidly. Yes, it does smell amazing. You're completely correct. Okay. So like I said, this is going to be very loose, very simple. What I'm going to do is do really every other piece differently. That way it's very, I don't want to say incohesive, but so it doesn't kind of mesh all into one curl. You know how sometimes when you do that, when you curl in one specific pattern, when you let it all go at the end and brush it out, it looks as though it is one curl throughout your entire head. So to not do that, that's why we are going to do every other piece a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm going to start. Okay. Now we only have to hold for a few seconds because, like I said, we are using a higher heat. Love that. Okay. And I'm taking about 1-inch sections. Okay, now this is the traditional curl. It is going to look a lot different than this one right here. And what I'm doing is just feeling the hair, and this is going to let me know when it's time to release the coil. Okay, it is pretty hot, so I'm going to drag it down and let it go. Now, I'm going to show you these two curls. So you see this one, the actual hair is more together. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you look at this curl, it is very easily, you can tell the difference. See how this hair is more spread out? Each curl is wider. Now this one, the actual hair is only about a centimeter thick. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's go throughout and just do every other. And I can also like switch the way that I'm curling. So I've been curling away from your face. We can do some towards your face, and that'll give even more variety. So let's start doing that. Okay. Just a few more seconds here. Okay. Now, some of the pieces are going to be a little bit bigger, some smaller, but that is actually beneficial to us in this case because you want each piece to be a little bit different. So this actual brand of curling iron is called Hot Tools. This is a very popular brand, and you can find this in Ulta, you can find it on Amazon. They're pretty good quality. Oh, that curl came out really nicely. Okay, and now we're going to do another piece. I love the color of your hair. It's such a cool auburny kind of color. I love that. It goes really well with your features. Okay, so I'm doing the wraparound method for this one. I'm going to leave this one on a little bit longer just because this specific chunk that I pulled was a little bit thicker. Okay, there we go. So are you going to an event today, or is there an occasion for why you're getting your hair done? Oh, that's nice. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time there. Okay, so this time I actually did a little bit of a different method, just to add some variety and variation, but the main thing is you want it to be loose and, you know, just a little different. So we're staying away from anything that could be really tight. I do have, what is this in your hair here? Looks like just a little fuzzy piece. So get that up for you. Okay. So we have 2 more pieces on the bottom layer. Okay, so now I'm going to do the wraparound method. This one I'm going to do actually towards your face. I'm not burning your ear, am I? Okay. So after I'm done this bottom layer, I actually am going to spray your hair with some Flex Finish hairspray. So basically, when you think of hairspray, you think of, you know, a hard shell, you know, especially when you do like a slicked back kind of look, you think of that. But luckily, they have recently come out with some, you know, new things. I'd say recently, but not really recently, but, you know, over the span of a few decades, I guess. They have come out with flexible hairspray. Now, this is your working hairspray, which you use really when you want a style to hold, or you want something to hold without giving it that shine, without giving it that crunch. It just kind of keeps everything in place, and it's a medium body type of hairspray. So it's pretty cool, and it's very helpful in situations when you're curling hair, because then you don't get any crunchy pieces, which is something that's not really too enjoyable. Okay, I'm gonna do this one away from the face. Okay, we are officially done with the bottom layer. So I am going to spray it with this Chi Keratin. Like I said, this is a Flex Finish hairspray. It's hold level 3 out of 5. And like I said, it's flexible, so it will not leave you crunchy. And it smells amazing, yes. Hair products are some of the best smelling things on the market. Okay, so I think we're ready to move on to your top layer here. Now this is the thicker part of your hair, as is mine. So, like I said, we're just gonna let it fall naturally. Okay, and then we are going to actually start from the back and then work our way up to the front on each side, and we'll do the front pieces last. Okay? Before we get started, I'm going to spray this layer with the blow dry spray. This one does need a few more seconds just because it is thicker. Perfect, okay. Now at the end, I am going to brush out your curls, not with a brush because that'll make it a little too perfect looking, but I'm just going to loosely use my fingers to comb your hair out. As opposed to using a comb. I just wanted to let you know that beforehand, just in case you were curious or wondering why. How's it feeling? Good? Okay. Yes. So this one I actually did a little bit differently. This is actually my favorite way to style my own hair. So it's basically is a curl, but it's hard to see, but I did something a little bit different up here, and it kind of gives the curl a little bit of a different look. Okay, yeah, I'll do a few more pieces like that. It is really nice because it's, I don't know, it just looks really cool to me. Now on the top of your head, closer to your face, we do all the pieces away facing, just because when we do the pieces inward facing, it kind of closes in your face. It doesn't, you know, geometrically, I'm not sure how to say it. It just doesn't make the face pop the way it needs to. Okay. Love that. See, that's like a twisty piece more than a curly piece, which is really nice and cool for the variety. Okay, so now I'm going to do this top piece. I'm going to do that separate, and I'm going to do this bottom piece separate. So I'm just going to do this one, the traditional curl. Okay. On this, we are going to do the wraparound method. Wow, look how beautiful that piece looks. That came out phenomenally. Okay, let's just do the second half of your hair, and then you will be all done. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, yeah, my floor just makes a lot of sounds. All right, let's do a traditional curl back here. Oops, I'm so sorry. this one towards your face. Now this is going to be the last one towards your face, because like I said, we are getting a little closer to the crown, or not the crown, the outline of your face, I guess your hairline. So after this, we are going to do all the way from the face. And then I'll do some of these pieces over here with that cool pattern that I did on the other side. Just going to get on this side of you really quick. So see how I twisted that under, and now I'm going to curl on top of the twist. Easier to see on this side right here. And then you leave it for a few seconds. Gather the rest of the ends down here at the bottom, and we're gonna go under again. See, now there's multiple twists in here. Then we are going to curl it again, and that's how you get that cool twisty looking curl pattern. Now see how that's different? Okay. So we just have 2 more pieces. Oops. There we go, okay. So I'm gonna do this piece separate, and then I'll do this bottom one same way. Under. A few more seconds on that. All right, and now for the final piece, we're gonna do this the same way we did your other front piece. Perfect. Oh my God, you look amazing. Okay. Now, before we hairspray the final top layer, we're going to add a little bit of this Colleen Rothschild Smooth and Shine Hair Serum. Now, this kind of just helps to add some moisture to the ends, especially after curling it, which can be a little bit drying, and it does add some shine as well. And all you need is about that amount, so like a pea-sized amount. Now this smells amazing. Now, like I said, I am going to brush through your hair a little bit. We're not going to get this at the roots, just going to focus it primarily mid to end, and it'll evenly distribute the serum with your hair while I brush it out, so it'll be perfect. Okay, and now you're going to do the final touch of hairspray. This is just going to lock everything in. Okay, and you're all done. Let me just show you what it looks like from the back. Give me one moment. Okay, here's what it looks like from the back. You can see that it is curled. You can tell that it's like not all the same. So it has a lot of nice variety. It almost looks like a natural curl, especially in the summer. It looks really, really nice, but it doesn't look like we just took the flat iron, the curling iron to it and just did a bunch of perfect looking curls. It looks very summer-esque. Okay, let me flip you back around. Perfect. And then you can do the front pieces however you want. I know some people like them a little bit more in towards their face. But yeah, you look amazing. I'm so happy I was able to help you today. Okay. And have fun at your event. Okay, bye-bye.